Good morning and good afternoon. My name is Lori, and I'm going to be talking about how to prospect today. So I hope everyone can see my screen. There we go. All right. All right, so it's all about prospecting. I'm sorry, I just need to close something in my window here so I'm not distracted. There we go. Awesome. All right, a couple more people are just signing in here. All right, so we're going to talk about prospecting for new clients today. So how to find prospects. What we're going to cover is just finding the best prospects, different methods of prospecting, and a little bit about how to qualify them. So where do you even start? That's a great question. There are two groups of prospects that work best. The first is new businesses who've just opened that are like fresh, brand new, and they haven't ever existed anywhere else before. So they make they make excellent prospects because they're very likely to have absolutely no online footprint. The second best ones are businesses who've recently moved. One that did not exist previously but has now moved is also, a good, or the one that, previously did exist but has now moved. Those are also really good because all of their online information needs updating. So let's start by first talking about new businesses because they're pretty much invisible online. And just as an example, something that happened, or example that's happened recently in the city that we live in here is there's a very tall, silver, strange-looking building that was being built on Main Street here in Saskatoon. It was under construction for quite some time, and due to its odd shape, it was very noticeable, and people were talking about it. But there was no signage out front, or there was nothing listed. Nobody really had any idea what it was. And you can see just on the screen here, Reddit Saskatoon, they're talking, people are asking about what that building's going to be, and someone just said it's a new Great Canadian Oil Change location. There we go. So we did a Google search for that exact address, and nothing was listed. So basically, number 1702 was a mystery. And talk about being invisible online. A search for the supposed business that was coming here, the Great Canadian Oil Change, only surfaced a result for another location in the city, number 3330. And the number 3330 location was actually listed on Google. So we figured that the location that is listed on Google must also have a Facebook page. So let's start our search. So we thought we'd start our search there, but there wasn't really any luck, or at least it doesn't appear that way. The already existing location of Great Canadian Oil Change, number 3330, actually has an unclaimed Facebook business page, which means they're not actually using Facebook properly. And that is one indication there. While you went looking for one potential prospect, this new building that was going up, and trying to figure out what it was, turns out you ended up doing a little more research, and you're finding out that another already existing location is needing at least as much help, if not more, because their listings aren't really super great, although they do have a Google listing, but also they're using their Facebook incorrectly. So what you could do then is to go and talk to that particular business, wait for the other one to open up, and go and talk to that business. So who else? So those are both great prospects. Let me first finish that one, I guess. So when you see a strange looking building, definitely stop and try and figure out some information on that. Maybe check out some of those sites like Reddit or other ones where people are talking about that sort of thing to do a little bit of your research. And then, of course, always check out their social platforms, because there, again, is a really great place where you can go and start to prospect businesses and help them to create a proper social platform, a social page on, Facebook, Google+, potentially LinkedIn, any of those places. So who else make good prospects? So consider prospecting specific verticals. If you have experience with certain types of businesses, certain verticals, those are really good ones for you to go look at, because you can speak really intelligently to those owners about that particular vertical. If there's a specific market in your region that hasn't been serviced yet, think about trade workers like plumbers, electricians, locksmiths, or house cleaners who travel on site for work, and they likely don't have a brick and mortar storefront. They really need to rely heavily on accurate listings and a positive reputation to be found online. Also, some industries have higher budgets for marketing, like many high-end health and beauty industry. Maybe think about some accountants and those sort of places. Definitely think outside the box as to what types of businesses could use your services and might need your services, and other people maybe aren't talking to them. Another one that I've heard of often are churches and preschools. So think about those types of businesses when you're thinking about prospecting. So driving inbound traffic, how do we do that? Use lists. Lists are awesome, and there's a lot of places that have lists. So if you're part of your local chamber, or if there's a local business association that maybe you are a part of, or maybe you're not, might want to get involved in places like that. As part of a membership, there are usually contact lists, a great way to introduce your offering to others within the community. The value you bring to businesses within a community like the Chamber starts with intelligence, and you are the digital expert providing timely, relevant information to each business. The second thing is the value. You can equip members with tools they need to monitor, to manage, to build their online presence and reputation. And finally, your service can be full-fledged managed offering that allows business owners to focus on just that, their business. So if chambers are the route you're interested in going, here are a few things you should know about them. Most member board organizations are slow-moving giants. They're usually part of the late majority or even laggers. They want to be sure that something works before they invest their time and their money in it. Most have traditional business models that are slow to change. And that doesn't mean they won't, it just means that you have to prove your value to them. And lastly, there's a trend with some chambers who are beginning to build revenue from non-due avenues like travel, like credit card processing, printing, and advertising. And they are generally risk adverse, but they will acknowledge that their members need services that help them. Enter you and digital. So, sorry, my slide advancer is not really working very well here. But also, most also do not have the capacity to be exceptional at sales, so you can step in and you can help them. You should be prepared to help them close deals if they do agree to partner with you. And with our Easy Create platform here, you can run snapshot reports on businesses to see if they exist online. And all it takes is a very simple search. So with using this for that prospecting side of things, all you need to do is type in, the area that you live in, plus the vertical you're looking for, or, something very simple, a very simple search like that is going to help to bring up all kinds of results here at the bottom, and from there you can start your research online and go ahead and create snapshot reports, which will then give you the information you need to go talk to them about their online health. And of course, cold calling, something everybody loves to talk about. It's unavoidable. I've been cold calling for years, so I can help and offer a few tips to you. So you have to start by having the right attitude about cold calling. So are you prepared and confident with all the possible outcomes, ranging from getting the decision maker on the phone and telling him your spiel, or getting hung up on? So it's the difference between $100 deal or $1,000,000 deal or nothing. Your preparedness and confidence should be identical to that, and ensure that your work environment empowers and motivates you to get it done. So make sure you're not sitting in the dark. You're not, you're not in kind of a dull area. You want to be somewhere where it's exciting and uplifting to give you that energy and motivation you need to do this. Next, you must truly believe in both the products that you're selling and yourself. A lack of confidence or downright lying will always come through to the prospect, even on the phone. It's important to have a pitch. So know what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, the delivery, the stance. Nothing beats practice. You should always, always, always practice at least 3 times before getting on the phone or standing up in front of anyone to pitch your wares, because that confidence is going to come through when you know what you're talking about. And we recommend that you even have a script. So if you're a seasoned sales veteran, having that script in front of you or having those bullet points in front of you is going to help you to get all of your ideas down first, and then to be able to speak confidently to them and smoothly. So the real key to cold calling is being persistent. Almost 50% of sales go to the agency or you that responds first. So the sooner you follow up with a lead, the better. And the most important thing is to not give up, as 44% of salespeople do. Did you know that 5 or more follow-ups are required for 80% of all sales? That seems like a lot, but when you really think about it, it's not. You have to remember that people have a lot of others calling them for some of the same things, or even just calling them throughout the day. So you need to make sure that you stand out, and by being persistent and by following up, you're going to be the one that stands out. You're likely to sense a theme here. So once you make enough cold calls, you will receive a call back. And if you don't happen to answer it, follow it up within 5 minutes or less. That will yield you the most optimal results. Waiting even 30 minutes means that you're 10 times less likely to reach that person. And don't let the average salesperson syndrome affect you. Waiting 39 hours to respond to a lead is not following best practices. You definitely want to get on that, and you want to get on it fast. Another way to get a lot of prospects and to do some great prospecting is to host a free seminar. This positions you as a trustworthy and knowledgeable expert, especially if you can team it up with an offer, or offer it to a local organization that's already has some brand recognition. So Vendasta will provide you with a seminar presentation and a script that we know works. Oops. There we go. And provide printed off snapshot reports to every business in attendance. Almost every event will have at least a partial attendee list on their website, and some will even reveal a full list with contact information. Getting an RSVP list is great, because then you can run snapshots for the actual attendees that are right there, and you can hand them out to those people and answer questions immediately right there at the seminar. And wouldn't it be much easier to have that conversation with the business owner in person with that comprehensive report on their business? I can't imagine someone who wouldn't want to talk to you. So that is the end of our webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to anyone here. We're more than happy to answer those questions for you. We are always happy to help out by offering any sort of resources that we might have that we can share with you. So please feel free to ask anybody here at Vendasta, and good luck with that prospecting. If you follow these tips and you be persistent and you just think outside the box, I'm sure you're going to find a whole lot of success. Have a wonderful day.